Hello! Oh, look at you, happy gooners. Look at you all. Look at you all in there. You're all happy. You're all having a laugh. Stephen Edwards is first in the box today. Marco Bricks UK. Obito Uchiha. Jimmy H29. Daz316. Jack Badley. The famous Jack Badley. Foliock says North London is red. And 235100. Ron Ree. Oh, God, it's all there. Corey Austin, the one and only Corey Austin. Joshua Page is there. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is there. J. Rob's there. Oh, what a time to be alive. How do you like them fucking apples? What about that then, huh? It's not bad life, is it? It's not a bad life. Guys, we've had we've had live news from the stadium, an interview with Harry Kane, and he says, what can I say? We agree with you. We agree with you, Harry. On to the game. But on to our guests first. Here we are. We have the one. We have the only John Welsh. Say hello, John.
Hello, John. How you doing, Jace? Look, you got so excited, you've knocked your camera already. You're cutting half your head off, mate.
I look better like that. I look better like that. How do you like them fucking apples? It's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. That was brilliant today. And my hair's all a mess. I've been grabbing it all through the game, and yeah, wonderful. Loving it.
I know. It was just fantastic. Fantastic. Along with us today, we have the one and only. He's the guy who screws up Andy Fife's journey every morning. It's that London guy. It's Karl.
I'll tell you what, tomorrow he just might get a good service because I'm in a good mood. Why would I not be in a good mood? We beat our local rivals. Sorry, I have to smile when I say it clearly because what a game. Seriously, it's one of the best games of football I've seen in a while. I'm not being biased just because it's Arsenal. It's one of the best games of football I've seen in a very long while, but we'll obviously talk about it as the show goes on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Quick shout out here. Somebody else having a shout out. Who's there? Who was it? Bloody hell. I can't fucking see it now. Oh, here we go. Meet Up for Life says, I love you guys. What a game. I know. It's magic. I love everyone at the moment. Even Guna Shy 77. No, he's a cheeky bugger at the moment. What's going on here? Right. Do you know what? Fuck those scumbags. Fuck them and fuck them hard. That's all I got to say. I'm going to stop swearing now because I'm so excited. John, let's get straight into it. The lineups. No Ozil and 3 at the back. First of all, your thoughts on no Ozil?
So we got told it was a back spasm, and
did he keep a straight face when he said back spasm?
Look, I'm not saying it's not a back spasm. It might genuinely have been. He has got back issues. We all know that. Yeah, I'm a little bit less convinced on whether it really was or not. But you know, less said about that.
Even Chris Carpenter in the group said, let's be honest, he's been dropped.
Yeah, there was rumours going around yesterday that he wasn't going to be picked today because he wasn't in the training pictures and everything else, and perhaps he'd either got upset or just, I don't know, he'd had an argument, you know. So then he got dropped from the squad. But look, you know, that's by the by. He's not in the team, and I think if anyone looked at the way we played, particularly in the first half, there's very little chance Ozil was going to play in, at least starting in the way we started the game. But as for the lineup, I was surprised that we kept with the back 3. I was a little bit nervous, honestly, because I thought that although we won the previous game where we had played that system, I didn't think we looked particularly comfortable in it. And Kolasinac, he was really good going forwards, but it was a little bit dodgy, like in behind him and stuff, and his defensive work. And the forward line wasn't quite right. We didn't seem to click properly. So, you know, I'm not going to lie. When I saw them up, I was a little bit apprehensive, and I thought, oh, you know, maybe we should have just gone with the back 4 and what everyone's comfortable with. But Unai, yet again, proving, I think, as he has done pretty much all of this season, that he's generally calling things spot on, and if he does need to make changes in games, he's doing it and getting them all right.
Yeah, I got to be honest. You know, we've been through this time and time again. I haven't been impressed with the performances, but I have been impressed with the way we're able to grind out results. But let's just get into the game. Karl, it started off a hell of a pace, and a big shout out to the crowd. It was electric there, wasn't it?
It kind of had to be. When it's a derby, you kind of had to get really behind the team. There's no bigger derby than Arsenal Tottenham for me. The crowds, the people in the stadium were absolutely fantastic. You could hear it through the TV. Absolutely brilliant. And the game just started so quickly. Arsenal were pressing really high up the pitch as well. Even the back line, they were really far forward. And like, you could tell the kind of tactics we come to do. Like, we weren't going to give Tottenham an inch of time on the ball. We was always, every time, whoever had the ball, whether it be the goalkeeper, whether it be the right back, centre back, we was targeting them. And even, I think, we definitely targeted Serge Aurier because he ain't the player that he used to be, definitely not. And Kolasinac and Iwobi were definitely targeting him, and just as soon as he had the ball, they were on him and making him make mistakes and making him lose the ball and just do stupid mistakes and just kick the ball out of play when he doesn't need to.
Absolutely, John. I think it's so early doors. You know, Hector and Kolasinac are pushing right up. You know, you had Mkhitaryan winning the ball high, creating a chance for Aubameyang. We were at it from the off, weren't we? We really were. We've spoken all season about slow starts, but Liverpool and today, boy, oh boy, were we at it.
Oh, we absolutely were. And so is Mika for life with a donation. Anything for a happy Jason. Thank you very much, Mika. Really appreciate that donation. Chat box, give Mika some love for the donation there. It's really appreciated. Yeah, the speed at which we started the match, it was kind of like the Liverpool game. And it makes me reassess this whole us starting slow thing, because we did it in Liverpool and we did it in the Spurs game. Maybe it is a tactic of Emery's, because the Spurs players didn't look like they expected us to come out and play like that at all. Because if you've watched us the majority of the season, if you're another team, you're going to say, okay, first half they're a little bit slow, we haven't got to do too much, there's not so much pressure, and second half is really where they turn it on. But the pace that we were closing down, forcing errors, they didn't have any time on the ball. You know, we were winning it back in high areas of the pitch. You saw some of the best bits of Torreira, just the way he nicks in the ball, and as he takes it into space and then can lift off of a pass. Mkhitaryan, who I don't think has been in great form recently, was fantastic in closing, as was Iwobi as well. That whole front line, you know, even all the way through to Aubameyang, who I thought was superb today, obviously with his goals, but just his work rate and his effort. Like, Lloris had no time on the ball whatsoever, and just constantly forcing errors was brilliant to see. The only worry for me from it was, and I think Gary Neville said it on commentary, is how long we could do it for a whole game, because you can't really do that for 90 minutes. But yeah, Spurs just didn't have a clue. They had no idea what to do at all. They couldn't get in the game whatsoever.
Yeah, it was so impressive. It's something we've spoken about. I'm not really sure if it's. I can't see the slow start being a tactic. I just think, you know, it's the early part of his reign at Arsenal, and we're still getting used to it. But boy, oh boy, it showed what it meant to these players today, and it was fantastic. Mika for life. You know, thank you very much. You're just an absolute rock star. And, you know, there's 300 odd people in this chat box at the moment. Some of you are regulars. Thomas from Norway's there. You know what I mean? But, you know, you guys are regulars. It means so much to us to support. You keep us going. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Hey, okay. Hassan Ramzan, we'll keep that for later, okay? We'll ask that in the questions later. Karl, so this the early pressure, you know, even Mkhitaryan's winning the ball high, you know, we're going at them, and it results in the corner, Mustafi going for the corner, Vertonghen hand up, clear penalty. What are your thoughts?
Definitely a penalty. I don't even know what he was thinking. Like, if you got a push in the back and you kind of was over exaggerating to show the referee, oh, look, I got a push in the back, I've been fouled. You know what? Sometimes, I'm not saying I justify it, but maybe you can understand. But there was no push in the back. No one was near him. He literally just had a mad moment. Do you remember a few years ago when we played Tottenham, and I think Fabregas did the same thing after a free kick, and he just put his hand up in his handball, and Tottenham got a penalty for some unknown reason. And Vertonghen just did the same thing. It was just literally a mad moment that I ain't complaining about, but I have no idea what was going through his head when he did that.
Absolutely. But the way Auba scores the penalty, cool as you like, yeah? Absolutely cool as you like.
Yeah, it was a good penalty. I think he waited for the keeper to make a little move and just literally put it to the side of him. I'll be honest with you, I kind of wanted the penalty with a bit more power. But you know what? The penalty went in. It was 1-0. I couldn't care less.
Yeah, absolutely. John, your thoughts on it? I mean, he doesn't seem to have Rob Holding's invisibility cloak when he puts his arm in the air, does he?
No, he didn't. It was I was watching and I was like a sort of 30 seconds behind, I think, you guys in the chat. So I had to keep I was like, hang on a minute, what? There's a penalty. Oh, Yvonne in there as well. Not even Mike Dean can stop Arsenal today. Thank you, Yvonne. Yvonne is always straight in there. But no, it's like Karl, I'm not really sure. But defenders do that sometimes, that weird thing where they just jump up and it's just that reaction. Sometimes your hand just goes up. But yeah, blatant penalty. It really rattled him. It looked like it rattled him for the whole game because, as much as he's a scumbag and he plays for them, he's not a bad player, Vertonghen. But he didn't look. He was totally sort of off his game after that point. And we did try and target him quite well as well, which I was glad to see. But yeah, cold penalty. Just waited until Lloris went the wrong way. Bit calm. I think they on the commentary they were saying, it's a bit Henry-esque in the way that he didn't always have to put it in the corner. He just wait for the keeper to make the move, and then he just fine, don't have to hit it with any power. Just calm and casual. But like the celebration from it, you could see it really matters to him. Some players don't get derbies. They don't understand it properly. I don't think they understand how important it is. I think Aubameyang, because he played at Dortmund, and they do have
that Rovali against Schalke is massive, isn't it?
So he really gets the derby thing, and I think there's some players, depending what clubs you've been at, it's not the same intensity, but he really, really gets it. Same with Lacazette as well, coming from Lyon. He understands that as well. I just love that. I love the celebration. Emery as well, absolutely loving it. Caicedo, who looks completely insane. Just like the whole bench, and it's always so good as like whenever you get those kind of things, reactions. All the players as well warming up. They're not even really warming up. They're just running up and down the touchline because they want to get on the pitch. Guendouzi, Ramsey, everyone else. They all want to be involved. It's great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right, a couple of shout outs. To anybody listening on iTunes or whatever, apologies, but we're going to have shout-outs today. This is a live show. This is what we do, okay? C'est la vie, you have my permission. Go nuts, get it done. Sir Antonius Block, it's 3:25 here in Melbourne. PJ 980, it's 12:25 in Perth. Guys, you're all over the world. Let us know where you are. Karl and John will try to make a list of where you guys are listening today and joining in. Thank you for joining us. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. After that, Karl, Leno saves from Son. You had an Iwobi shot saved. You had Hector chance blocked. Leno saved from Son again. It was heart-stopping, wasn't it? It was absolutely bonkers. It was just flying, that game.
This is what I said, where I think it's one of the best games of the season so far. It was end to end. I mean, we should have been clear in the first 20 minutes. And like John alluded to, and what Gary Neville said, we didn't know how long we could keep it up for. So I think the fact that we didn't take our chances kind of hurt us a little bit. But, notwithstanding, Tottenham, they're a decent side. I can't say they're a good side. I can't bring myself to say it. They're a decent side. So they were putting little pressure on us as well. And, the cracks were just starting to show with Arsenal. The normal defensive frailties of Arsenal were just creeping in. And, for the most part, we was on top of it. For the most part, we was dealing with it. And then, well, you know what happened.
Yeah. We're going to get to that now, right? Petito 100, another donation. Thank you ever so much. Xhaka was a great captain today, laughing at Winks. That bit was particularly beautiful. That I really enjoyed that. We've got some people in New Jersey, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Tel Aviv, Dallas. We've got Devon. We've got Bermuda, Ottawa, Chicago, Manchester, USA. We've got a couple of people in Islington as well. Fantastic. You can't beat it. Okay, so back to the game. New York City. Oh, everybody's representing you. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I sound like a schoolgirl, but I'm enjoying this so much. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying it. John. Socrates gives away a silly free kick outside of the box, and then the resulting free kick. Oh, talk me through it.
I mean, the giveaway for the free kick was a bit stupid. I've got no problem. Oscar Arias with a donation and Kashif Ahmed as well. Wow, thank you both guys. Better than Xhaka get a pass for the rest of the season. And from Kashif, woohoo! I love you all. Thank you so much, both of you guys.
Kashif, we love you. Yeah. You guys just rock it. I can't now keep up with all the places that people are listening from. It's bonkers.
That's mad. We've got Egypt and there's also Norway, Edinburgh, Thailand, Colombia, Barcelona. Sorry, that's Colombia SC. So that's South Cali. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Ann Arbor's there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the thing with the foul is if he's going away from goals, you don't need to necessarily make that foul. But he makes it. Okay, mistake. But you've got to defend it better. The ball in is very, very good. You got to give that's a great delivery, and it is difficult to defend. My issue is with Leno. It's Leno is the issue there. He's got to do better.
He's got to save that, right? Like that's schoolboy goalkeeping. Like you've got to save that.
It's really disappointing because before that point he made some really good saves. He'd made some very good saves. He'd stood up well to people. He'd made no mistakes really. He'd kept all his angles clear and everything else. And it's a good ball in, and it's a decent, and he connects in it and puts it in the right area. Dyer, but Leno should be doing better than that.
Do you think it's a concentration issue, or because it can't be an ability issue? Because you just said, you said, he made some. Sorry, go on, Grace.
Yeah, so I just think, when you see Dyer just get the head onto it, or just get the nick on it, the ball spins, he goes down, he thinks he's getting his body behind it, right? And I think it spins up, and I just think it's one of those, it's a ricket. Let's make no bones about it. He should have saved it, But from start to finish, from the free kick through to the end, the ball hitting the back of the net, it was just a poor piece. We didn't need to give the free kick away. He should have saved it. We should have probably marked better on the free kick.
Yeah.
But I think that ball spins up, and I think there's your problem, Yeah. I think that's what gets it. So before I come back to you guys, Ariane Hidari comes in, another senior Welsh masterclass. And there's a moose staller. I think is that moose staller as they call him now? Because we could have never mind. Carry on. Back to you two. So yeah, he's got to save it. He doesn't. Gutting at this point, yeah.
Yeah. AFC9, come on, you Gunners as well with the donation. Thank you very much. Chat box, make sure you shout out all the people anyone who's donated. Give them some love. I know you're brilliant at it anyway, but just a reminder, it
was like a punch to the stomach, I think, because we were playing so well.
Yeah.
And the fact that when the goal came and we was kind of on top, I'm not going to, sit here and say Tottenham weren't kind of getting their chances because they were. But at the same time, it felt like a real punch to the stomach because we should not have let them back in the game. And it wasn't even the fact that Tottenham were playing well. It was our mistake that brought them back into the game. And that's what hurts the most.
Yeah, I just think because of the way we'd pressed and forced all the errors and been keeping the ball so high up the pitch, and just the fact we hadn't taken the only thing that I didn't feel we did within that sort of first 30 minutes, despite how well we played, is we didn't create many chances, like clear-cut chances. I don't think we created enough. Tottenham got blocks on shots and things like that, and there was a couple of times where Iwobi could have released the ball quicker, and he didn't. Crosses weren't quite finding their man, that kind of thing. And I just think if we just got another goal in that sort of first 30-minute spell, then I think we could have killed the game then, because we were so all over them.
Absolutely agree with that. We were architects our own point simply because we'd had so much possession, we'd been on the front foot, and yet we hadn't capitalised on it. Now, after the goal, guys, there's handbags flying everywhere. Yeah. Dyer goes over to the crowd. Guendouzi doesn't like it, okay? There's Rambo's flying in. There's Lichtsteiner flying in. You know what I mean? Marble Halls TV. I'm over the moon, so I'm sending you some dough. Love you, Marble Halls TV. Thank you. Give him some shout-outs, chat box. Give him some shout-outs. What did you think of the fracas, guys? It was
I love it. Do you know what? I fucking love it. Do you know what? I love a good scrap. Like, I love a good tear up. I'm not even going to lie to you. It was handbags, let's face it, because they weren't really on it. If they were on it, they would have been frying fish, but they wasn't really on it. So it was all handbags. It was funny, and it was good for the crowd to watch, let's face it. Honestly, I do really, really like, because it shows passion, and I know Chris hates it, passion. Yes, Chris, it does show a little bit. It shows it up for the fight. Like, if they didn't care, they that wouldn't bother them. But you could tell that it bothered them. So for me, I like it. I'll be very honest.
Absolutely. It was all a load of nothing, okay? If ever you wanted to lay one on somebody, okay, half that Spurs team are right up there. All of them, in fact. You'd love to stick one on them, but that would be going a bit too far, let's be honest.
So I'm not sure exactly what... Oh, Michael Hanneman with donation as well. Buzzing with the result and performance. Oh, it's just scroll past the chat box. Bloody, I was going too quick. Everything today, we're above the scum again.
Yes.
Thank you, Michael.
Oh, my God.
Top man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that whole fracas thing. Look, I don't have a problem with Dyer going to the Arsenal fans and giving it the finger, because I would want an Arsenal player to do exactly the same thing to Tottenham fans. And we've seen plenty of it. You're going to get stick all day. Fair enough. The fracas thing afterwards, there's nothing in it. Ramsey does proper go for Dele Alli, which I quite like when you see it in the replay. And he has broken up. And then my favourite thing, a player who I haven't been that keen on this season, Guendouzi, comes steaming in out of nowhere and jumps straight in there. And he's only just joined the club. So all the horrible things I said about Guendouzi, I take them back now, because he ran straight in there to go and have a fight. So I love that.
I love that. Ramsey came in there. Ramsey was on it, because I was watching the game with my friend, and I was saying, I can't believe Ramsey just come and backed it. Like, that's how you know that even though he's going to leave, he knows what it means about Arsenal. He knows that, and Dele Alli as well, even better.
Well, I'm not being funny. If you're going to abuse his ego, that's what you're going to get. Do you know what I mean? And I tell you what, if you're RVP, you know what he'll do to you as well. He'll knock you on your ass. So it's one of those things. They do love it, and he's from Blackwood. They don't mess about up there. They really don't. But onward. And the next thing we got is the penalty. Now, I'm going to come to you both on this. Holding dives in the box. We've spoken enough about this and Mustafi over the last few months, okay? We've gone over it time and time again, and Holding does it. I think he does get a little piece of Son, yes. I think Son does dive. No issues about that whatsoever. Okay, but you can't dive in the box, and the only option Mike Dean has is to give a penalty. Karl, your thoughts first.
And I'm not going to look at this from an Arsenal bias point of view. It's not a penalty. It really isn't. And Jason, even your choice of words, diving into the box, I don't think Rob Holding went diving in. He went for the tackle. Now, I'm not saying that, I've watched it over and over again, and I've tried to see if there's any contact. Okay, I can't see if there's any contact at all. Only two players know if there's any contact, and that's Holding and Son. for me, the way that Son went down was overreaction. Now, let me not say that if that was an Arsenal player and he went down doing that, would I still think the same? Yes, I'd be happy we got the penalty, but I'd still think, come on, there's no need for that. At the same time, I don't think it's a penalty. I really do not. But you've given the referee the invitation to think about it. And now the fact that Rob Holdings gave the invitation for the referee to even think about it, unfortunately, when you're in the box and you go down and there's that sort of connection, the referee's always going to point to the spot all the time. I just think that we just need some common sense in this. And I really am not looking at this from Arsenal, like rose-tinted glasses. I'm not. Even if it was two other teams, I would still think that's not a penalty. And I still, to this moment right now, I don't think it's a penalty still.
Okay, fair enough. John, your opinion?
So I didn't see the replay till half time, so I only saw it once, like in game. And as it happened, I thought, oh, that's a penalty. Like straight away, that was my reaction. Now, I'm not on the pitch. I'm not at the same angle as the referee or anything else. So that's just what I've seen because the way he's come in. And yeah, I know Son likes to dive and players go down easier now and everything. When I saw the replay, I'm not sure there is contact. People are saying there is. And if maybe they've seen an angle, I haven't. It doesn't look like there's enough. But I do agree with your point that you can't go in like that unless you are clearly winning the ball and nothing else. I think Dyer did it in the second half, maybe, or it might have been the first half to maybe Aubameyang or someone, and he clearly won the ball, and it was quite a clean tackle. You can't do that unless it's a perfectly timed, clean tackle, and expect to not give away a penalty. Maybe next season when VAR is in, it will be something totally different. They'll review it and they'll say no, there wasn't contact or there wasn't enough, and they will and they'll say no penalty. But I think you have to take away the fact that you've looked at it and seen so many replays, and you have to try and think of it as what was your reaction the minute you saw it in real time. Is if you want to look at it like fairly, do you know what I mean? Because the referee only gets that one chance.
Absolutely. Look, it's one of those. It happened.
I mean, at the end of the game, it didn't matter, so it's less of a talking point.
That's the big point for me. We'd had enough of the play to sort of control this game, and all of a sudden, with a couple of stupid moments, we let it get away from us. Arul Selvan Jayabalan. I don't know what currency that is, but there's 200 that donated.
Indian rupees, I think.
Oh, fantastic!
I think that is Indian rupees. Yeah, that is Indian rupees. Pablo Hermanos. There we go. Wow.
Oh, magic. Well, we really appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. And he says the boys played for each other and fought for each other. And absolutely, I think that's a great point, mate. Thank you very much. Right, let's get his name down here now. Everybody's going to shout out at the end of the show. Okay, minutes later, Karl. Okay. After that, Mustafi, he gets a yellow. And that's an awful high foot on Son. I kind of hope he's going to connect properly and send him into next month. What were your thoughts on that?
Justified. You can't, unfortunately, in this game right now, you can't raise your foot that high. And yeah, he did connect a little bit. So I've got no complaints about it whatsoever. Mustafi is Mustafi, What more can we say? What more can we say? And unfortunately, it is what it is.
I thought it was a great challenge. I loved it. I got to be honest with you. I really enjoyed that. That's the end of the first half, okay? Because if we look at everything that happened, we'll be here forever. So that's the first half. We're going to go to the second half in a second, but let's get something straight to chat box. I got 390 of you watching right now. 390 of you watching. You're all coming in here with the donations. You're all coming in here with your thoughts. Yeah. We know Merson's a thicko. We know. He's an idiot. But where's my likes? Where's my likes? Come on. I've only got 110. There's 400 watching now. There's 400 of you watching now. I've only got 110 likes. Get a grip. Be like the Arsenal. Like it. Give me a like. Tappy. Let's get going. Come on! It's North London Derby Day, and we bent them over the table and we humped them. So give me some likes. I expect to see 160. Toot sweet. Come on, let's get going. Thank you. Tickle that thumb. Tappy, tappy. Yes, that's right. Let's go. Come on. Fantastic. John, sorry. I love that part of the show. I really do. Second half, obviously Emery wasn't happy. I thought Iwobi had done okay, but I want to see Iwobi play with conviction because that's when he plays well.
I thought he was very good off the ball. It was his decision-making with the ball that let him down today.
Yeah. Mkhitaryan, I didn't think Mkhitaryan played particularly badly, but they both off, and Lacazette and Ramsey come on.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I will do, just quickly. Brendan Almeida, 20 Aussie dollar reduce, as Don would say. It's 3 a.m. in Melbourne. I'm so pumped, lads. I'm going to be screwed for work in a few hours. I simply love you all. Brendan, thank you. We love you too, pal. That's amazing. God, 3
thank you very much.
Jesus.
Shit the beds.
I tell you what, we have got it easy here because we get to, we can laze about in bed till like 12, 1 o'clock and then get up to watch the game. And people all over the world are getting up at God knows what time to watch it. Putting yourself through that.
It amazes me, okay? The foreign fans and the way they love it. It absolutely amazes me. And, I tell you one thing. I wasn't looking forward to today. I really wasn't. My gut just clenches up. I don't like Northumberland Derby Day until the game kicks off. And to see all these people in the chat box, to see everybody enjoying, to see we get to chat to people and have fun, it's absolutely magic. So back to it.
I wasn't against the changes. I thought we needed to offer a little bit more up front. I thought still our pressing and everything was fine in the first half, but we weren't making enough clear chances. I kind of wanted Ramsey to start the game, to be honest, just because I think he gets derbies and he understands it. But like we said, I think Emery got everything spot on today. It was only really a 3-minute sort of spell of mistakes that led to their 2 goals. Other than that, I thought we were the better team. And although Tottenham had a little bit more of the ball, you could see the change of shape. They weren't quite adjusting to it. There was 2 up top now. Ramsey was kind of free and they didn't know where to pick him up. And the runs he was making was really confusing their defence and midfield, and they weren't sure how to track him. And it wasn't long into the game, into the second half, until we exploited one of those runs and the movement he made that opened the pitch up a bit. And lovely ball from Hector. Nice little flick from Ramsey, who, by the way, has the most assists in the Premier League this season of any player. Not bad for a bloke on the bench with such a big ego, who hardly ever plays, is it?
Get it right, John. His ego's got the most assists.
Ramsey's got the assists, yeah.
Let's be honest, he's just not Arsenal quality.
No.
Not Arsenal quality.
But despite, don't get me wrong, the ball from Hector's brilliant, and the little flick from Ramsey and just the awareness and the movement is great. But it's all about that finish from Aubameyang.
Oh, class, absolutely brilliant. I lost my shit when I was here. I was with my friend, and literally, when it came across, I'll be honest with you, I wanted to take a touch. I did, and the fact he just caressed it, just literally, it was a thing of beauty. It really, really was, and just brilliant. Like Lloris, and let's face it, Lloris is he's not the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's not bad. The fact that he couldn't nowhere near it, he knew he was flat-footed, couldn't get nowhere near it. Just beautiful, beautiful goal.
Just before I come back to that, Fat Sam, enough is enough, has just donated a £5 all the way from Karl Road. Sam, thank you ever so much. You're a rock star. Then Sam Ruth comes in with $9.99 just to annoy Danny. I like that, Sam. I like that a lot. And he says, the Spuds are forever in our shadow. I'm going to translate that, okay? For all of you who aren't American, the scum are forever in our shadow. End of story. The 2 Sams, thank you ever so much. That's just magic of you. Yeah, I think Karl's point there with the finish from Aubameyang, that was just sensational, wasn't it?
It was brilliant. He's had such a weird season because you can't complain because the amount of goals he's got is ridiculous, and his goal return per minute is, I think, I think he's broken all Arsenal records in terms of the amount of goals scored in games or something, like quickest to get to how I don't know, like 20 goals or whatever it is. It's absurd. But then you see some games where he's just not in it at all. He's not in the game at all, and then bang, he just appears. But he was excellent today. Everything he did was brilliant. He was battling, he was running down, he was chasing. He was trying to get on the end of everything. He was a lot more physical today than I've seen him in any other game. As like why I went back to it earlier. He gets the derby. He understands it, and he was really putting his foot in on challenges. He was throwing his head in places that you wouldn't normally see him do. But that finish was just natural raw ability. And he just loves scoring goals. He absolutely loves scoring goals. And Lloris was just rooted. His face afterwards was hilarious. And Pochettino on the bench, they just sat down. They didn't have a clue what to do. They're like, "Oh, he's changed the system again. This Emery guy's quite clever, you know." And they obviously they do know each other, but the system change really, really did Spurs. And just having Ramsey, having that extra player up a little bit closer, but centrally, and the two strikers, and they just didn't know what to do with all three of them, because it's not just about Aubameyang and Ramsey, and it's Lacazette as well.
I was about to say
around, you know,
Lacazette's ability on the ball out wide, okay, Ramsey's movement. All of a sudden we're on the front foot. I mean, that's all I got down here for the goal is magic. What a finish! It really was a wonderful finish. It was just fantastic. But Karl, it was a the changes in the goal were the catalyst of us really piling the pressure on. And a little bit later, you had a Mustafi shot saved. Torreira just shoots wide. We were really going for them at that point, weren't we?
Yeah, we were definitely on top. Tottenham could not handle our change in the system. They couldn't handle Ramsey's running. They couldn't handle, like I said, holding up the ball and then having another striker, Aubameyang, running forward, because they didn't know what to do. Some of the defenders were dropping short, some of them were going like running back. They didn't have a clue. And that's brilliant, because that just shows that, and I don't like to harp on about sort of Arsene days, but you know, had that been Arsene Wenger, we wouldn't have changed our tactics. We would have kept on, and then he may have changed it around the 60 or 70 minute mark. Emery's not scared to change it at halftime. He's not scared to bring on two players and, you know, totally change the game, which is what we needed. And Tottenham couldn't live with us. No way. The beginning of the second half, they couldn't live with us.
No, I thought, you know, you had a little bit later, you had Rambo linking up with Lacazette, and Lacazette doing some fantastic work down the right to get Aubameyang a chance. I think he was called offside, but, you know, you're just looking at this, and you're just looking at the tenacity with which the team was going for them. You know, it just looked fabulous. You know, we were aggressive in everything we did. I thought Hector had a great game today. I really did. But he gives a sloppy ball away to Son, John. And thankfully, Leno saves to spare his blushes.
Yeah. It's a mistake. He's doing the right thing, because we're doing the playing it out from the back, keeping the ball, not panicking on it. And they've done that. And he made himself a little bit of space, and he's trying to switch the play. And he just doesn't connect with it properly. It's a big error. Thankfully, we weren't punished. Leno digs him out of it. But that's what your teammates are there for. And, you know, they're not jumping and screaming at each other. He puts his hand up straight away. He's like, you know, and everyone's like, okay, yep, just keep going. They're just trying to egg each other on, just keep the tempo up, keep the mood up and everything. No one's getting on each other's back or anything like that. So it's something we've been saying all this season. The general mentality within the group and the way they're supporting each other, it seems to be very, very positive. And they are really trying to push each other on further and further in games. And players are always going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. No one's ever going to have a 100% game, or like, you know, 10 games in a row. But I thought he makes that mistake. But other than that, I thought Hector was really, really good today. That was old school Bellerin, getting up and down the line, getting crosses in, you know, getting past players, getting back to make tackles and stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, in that movement, Mustafi injures himself, clearing the ball away, and Guendouzi comes on to replace him. But not long after that substitution, okay, all of a sudden, guess what, people? Guess what? Yeah. All of a sudden, Lacazette comes in with an humdinger. Ramsey wins the ball on the halfway line. He doesn't play the best ball to Lacazette, but by God, Karl, Lacazette did everything he needed to do after that, didn't he?
Do you know what? When Ramsey won that ball, I literally stood up. I was in my house and I stood up and I was like, go on. And even I shouted out, oh, Ramsey, like the ball went, you know, had it been in front of him, I think maybe, like I said, could have taken it first time. But, you know, and what makes it even better, do you know what makes it even better? That he stumbles, he almost kicks it. It gets a deflection of Dyer and it trickles. It's almost like Lloris dives over the ball and it trickles in. It just made it so good. I mean, you know, there are certain goals that we like. If a goal goes in off the post and, you know, it looks brilliant. If a goal goes in the top corner, it looks brilliant. But the fact that he miskicks it, it gets deflection, and then Lloris dives over the ball. Like comedy, just brilliant. I was beaming because I was just laughing. I was more laughing at the goal rather than celebrating the Arsenal goal, because this is what I'm saying. Like, and these are the sorts of bit of luck you need. You know, it's all well and good having a lot of skill, and yeah, Arsenal teams full of skill, but in games like this, you need just a tiny bit of luck, and that was very, very lucky. And you know what? I don't even care, because at the end of the day, we scored.
Yeah, I've got to say this. I promise not to swear anymore later on, but fuck Eric Dyer. Fuck him and fuck him hard, okay? The cheeky shit shouldn't have been on the pitch. There was a late challenge on Torreira he should have had a booking for. He picked up another yellow later. He shouldn't have been on the park, but to watch that goal going off him, okay, you know, was just beautiful. You just looked at it and you just thought, can I take a picture? Can I have that as my screensaver? Dear Eric, go fuck yourself. You know, it was just beautiful. John, the crowd went bananas. There's flares going off in the crowd. Oh my God, it just was unbelievable, wasn't it?
The noise was amazing. I haven't heard it like that for such a long time. And we spoke to a friend of the pod, Neil, Chimp the Gooner on Twitter, if you do follow him. He's at the game and he was saying the stadium is shaking. Like, he said it's not been like, he doesn't remember a time it's been like that, like ever. And yeah, just the atmosphere was amazing. And again, it just showed Emery got his substitutions right. You said you're right. The pass from Ramsey wasn't perfect. He didn't get enough on it. Lacazette does enough, and we get some luck with the deflection of Dyer, which is hilarious. But it all comes from our press. Ramsey coming on fresh, being able to press and nick the ball. They don't know what to do with the change of formation. They haven't adjusted to it yet. And we're winning the ball high up the pitch again. And this time we're exploiting it because we've got two up front instead of one. And yeah, it's just brilliant. And I'm so glad as well that Lacazette got a goal, because I think because of the run Aubameyang's been on and how good he's been, it was going to be genuinely hard for Lacazette to get back in the team, which is a bit harsh on him, because up until his injury, he's probably been one of our best players this season. Just in terms of overall contribution.
I think he's been our best player this season, bar none. Yeah. I got to be honest with you, know, and I hate to say that because Carpenter will love it, but I genuinely believe. I think his consistency in performance, whether he scores or not, but the way he brings people into play has been magnificent. And you know, I do agree with you. I think you make your own luck. You know, Ramsey doesn't let them get away with it. He wins the ball. He knows where to pass to. He doesn't try to pass back. He makes the proactive, the really positive pass. Okay, he doesn't execute it brilliantly. He doesn't, but it's all the little things which combine to earn you the luck. You know, you earn luck. You know, it's all that thing. You know. I don't know who it was, the American coach, or you seem to be lucky in games. Yeah, we're lucky because we work hard. And that's what we were today. Yeah. That's what we were today.
If you go back and watch that game again, I bet you will find that we press Aurier and Foyth a lot more than we do on the left hand, and then Tottenham's left-hand side of the defence, because we know that's the weaker side, and their passing quality isn't as good as Vertonghen and Ben Davies. So you're going to get more joy down that side. We were doing it in the first half. It's clearly, you know, Emery's gone out and given them that plan and given them that information, and then they executed it perfectly. And up before that point, Ramsey done it again. I think it's Torreira won the ball, laid it into him, and he'd done a quick pass in for Aubameyang, and it was just overhit slightly, and Lloris got there first. But you could see just having that man a little bit higher up, but centrally, and having the two strikers really troubled Tottenham. But can you remember the last time we played a North London derby and we had two strikers up front for more than, say, the last 5 minutes of the game?
No, I can't, to be fair. I mean, look, if you compare this to last season's win, I thought last season's win was just as emphatic. Do you know what I mean? But bearing in mind Emery's new in his tenure, You know, I didn't think the performances had been that great up to this point, and to see what we put out on the pitch today, I thought that was magnificent. Dan Fry comes in. The harder I work, the luckier I am, is the saying. Thank you. Karl, I'm going to come to you, then to John on this, then the Torreira goal. Aubameyang with a through ball, and the little Uruguayan who's worked so hard during the whole game. He's really been a shining light in his work rate and his ability of, you know, breaking a play and being on the ball. And oh my God, when that goes in, it was just fabulous, wasn't it?
I almost wanted to cry, like, because he deserved it. I really did. Like, I really wanted to cry and cry my salty tears into Tottenham's bottle job, because it was. Do you know what? He worked really hard today, and he's like, for me, at the moment, he's the best signing of the season. He has to be, because the work rate he does, and he does his job, and he does it quietly as well. He doesn't, you know, doesn't make a lot of noise. He just goes about his job on the pitch, breaks up play, passes it, and is off. He's not. Before this game, I would say he's not really interested in scoring. Yeah, he's had a few mad shots, but all he wants to do is tackle, give the ball, and just get back into position. And how long have we been crying out, and I'm going to say the words, defensive midfielder? We have been crying out for a player like this for years, and I mean absolute years. And we finally got someone like that now, who, he's not about the glory. He's literally, all he wants to do is break up play. And when that ball went in, I thought he was going to pass it back to Aubameyang. I honestly did, and I think some of the Tottenham players did as well. But that shot was just brilliant, low, hard, done everything right, kept the ball down, and it's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And he deserved it, because he played his heart out today.
No, absolutely. John, your thoughts on that goal, because it was just, you know, when you hit 4-2, you know you've won the game at that point, okay? Because they were not in it, Tottenham, at that point. Yeah. You know, we were dominating every area of the park. We looked in control, but that was the real icing on the cake, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. I kind of agree with Karl about the tears thing, because he is he's just been brilliant since he's come to the club. I had a lot of people tweet me about him after he'd played a few games and saying, "Oh, how come you never mentioned him before? Because you watch a lot of Italian football and everything." And, you know, I said I'd spoken about him, but not in a terms of coming to a top 4 club, because I thought it was quite a big step, you know, to be honest. And I thought, yeah, maybe in a few years he might get there. But I didn't think he could do it this quickly. And he's made me look like an idiot, and I'm so pleased with it, because he's been.
You don't need any help of Torreira for that.
I get that enough from you lot. But no, he's just all round today. I thought he was superb. His tackling was great. He likes a bit of aggro and stick. He's happy to give it out and dish it. He's not dirty in the way he does it, though, which I appreciate. He's a very honest player. He's willing to take a chance on a shot on goal. We saw it earlier in the game. And the finish was just very clever. You know, he was very aware of the fact that Lacazette's in the box. He's looked up.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you here. I've just seen the greatest comment ever. West London Goon says, if I caught Torreira in bed with my daughter, I'd probably ask him if he wants a cup of coffee. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, dear. That's a good one. I'd say the same, but I don't know. Yeah. I've got a daughter. I might do. I've got them.
I think the thing about Torreira is, okay, he's an unassuming guy. He just works hard.
He's very humble. Yeah, very, very humble, very down to earth. His work rate's incredible. It is absolutely fantastic. And he's so important to the team now. So important. You can see everybody trusts him with the ball. The amount of times he got the ball and he was in a difficult position and he just wriggled out of it, those quick feet, and then played a simple pass and stuff. Oh yeah, just I love him, everything about him, and the way, like, he ripped his shirt off and screamed his head off. Again, another player who absolutely gets a derby. Being at Samp, the Derby de Lanterna is huge. Yeah. It's absolutely massive. It was the other weekend actually, and there was
Torreira.
And it's
But it's that side of it, isn't it? You know, a Sampa, you know, these things, they're occasions, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you have to rock up in occasions, but it's not about doing the flair stuff. It's about doing the hard graft. And today I thought we were magnificent. Exactly the same way we were last season in the home game.
Yeah.
You know, we got to back it up now in the away game, obviously. But, guys, a pleasure to see. Karl, Jan Vertonghen, red card. Talk to me.
You know, I was having this debate with my friend because he's sitting here and he reckons that it wasn't a yellow card because he got the ball. Now, for me, I think if you show your studs, irrespective of whether you get the ball or not, if you show your studs, you can't let that happen. Like, I understand that the ball was overrun, and do you know what? He did get the ball. He absolutely got the ball. I get it, but you can't show your studs. You can't step on someone like that and expect not to get a card. Like, for me, and my friend said that that he should have pulled out of the challenge. Why would you pull out of a challenge? Like, this is a game of we're playing men. If he pulled out of a challenge and then he went down the other end and scored, I'll be pissing myself, like thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why did you pull out that challenge and now they've gone and scored? Why didn't you put your foot in, bro? Like, so, like, for me, it was a yellow card. It was a yellow card, and I'm not disputing that he didn't win the ball because he 100% did. But you can't show your studs like that. That's not how you tackle. Like, you don't put your studs up like that and step on someone like that. So for me, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. You got to get a red card. You missed the next game. I don't care.
I've got to be honest here. I thought we should have had a penalty earlier on. He went up for a challenge in the box. Studs up, studs showing, high foot. Do you know what I mean? And I think him and Dyer were lucky. They were lucky to be on the pitch at that point. But screw him. What are your thoughts on it, John?
I thought he could have been a straight red. If I'm honest, and I'm normally, of all the guys on the pod, I'm normally the most lenient when it comes to decisions and stuff. But that wasn't a case of he's won the ball and then he's caught Lacazette by accident. That to me looked totally intentional. That is, he's followed through and gone to take his ankle out. So for me, that's a tackle with intent, not to win the ball, but to injure a player, which is a red card. Look, he got sent off, so there's not much more you can do about it. That point in the game, they'd just given up. They had nothing. They were completely crushed. You know, when the 6 minutes went up for the extra time, I know Kolasinac sort of looked at the fourth official as if he was going to knock him out. Like, come on, mate, give me a break. I've run pretty hard here, but I think it was more the Spurs players going, "Oh, we've got to endure another 6 minutes of this." Because can you remember a good performance from a Spurs player?
No, well, I thought Harry Winks being laughed at by Xhaka. Xhaka's couple of times was fabulous. But I looked at it, it got to the point, even Socrates was outpacing Harry Kane again.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Like, remember when we came, we used to sit there in the turning circle of a London bus. And now he's outpacing people like Harry Kane.
They panned across the Spurs fans and they just looked so dejected. You'd have thought it was in the middle of the Wenger reign again, you know, where it's like, oh, we got no hope. But the Olays going up when we held on to possession, every time the chant of you'll always be shit was magnificent. It was just. I enjoyed today. I enjoyed that game thoroughly. Even when we were down, you just thought, okay, Emery's going to pull something out the bag second half. I didn't quite expect that performance second half. But my God, it was just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. You know, I look at it and I just think, Emery's got it right. I think he also needed that win. I really do.
I don't think it's just a win. I think he needed the performance.
Yeah,
I think that's what he needed just as much, because I think everyone's happy with the results we've been getting, but I think in terms of the way the team's been performing, people have expected a little bit more. So that's that for me was the big thing. Now the trick for him is taking that on into other games and trying to. No, I'm not expecting the team to play like that for every other game because it's a derby, it's a special occasion. You just get up for it anyway. But they've got to start producing closer to those sort of performances more consistently.
No, absolutely. Karl, sorry, what were you going to say?
For momentum as well. You know, we got Man United during the week, and can you imagine, like, we'd gone up to Man United on the back of a loss to our greatest rivals. That would have been flipping horrible. Like now we're kind of buoyant, you know, we're happy, and you know, the team, the buzz around the team is going to be absolutely brilliant. And Man United, they just about scraped a draw against 19th place Southampton, and you know, we'll be going up there to play them. And you know, there's no reason why we can't get a result. There's no reason why we can't go out there and let Mourinho do what he normally does and parks the bus. But with our attacking power, you know, let's drive that bus out the fucking stadium. Now we've got the ability to beat United.
Drive the fucking bus into the stadium, fucking set off a bomb and explode the place, and let's have them. This is what we've got to do now. We've got to be really positive. We've really got to have a go. We've really got to go after United on Wednesday.
The thing is, what's also going to be good, Jason, sorry, is that Ramsey will be playing because Xhaka won't be. He's got 5 yellow cards. So it's going to be Ramsey and Torreira in the middle. You're thinking, you're hoping.
I think he'll go Guendouzi and Torreira. I really do.
No,
I think that's the style he likes to play. I do, but let's wait and see. And when I say exploded, I don't mean, you know what I mean, guys. You know, we're having a bit of fun here. We're not.
I'm kind of sad about Wednesday now though, because I could, you know, if we absolutely spank them, Jose might get sacked, and I don't want him to leave. It's great watching that car crash at the moment, like struggling to get a draw against, you know, at the weekend, and it's brilliant.
Well, you know, let's be honest, okay. It's one of those where I despise Jose so much. Okay, him getting sacked would be nice, but as you say, watching them, you know, with all that money spent, watching Sanchez just be so shit.
He just keeps dragging them further down and down and down.
Yeah. It's really enjoyable, it is, you know, and it's like, you know, somebody tweeted me the other day, and Palace drew with United and said, "Oi, doom and gloom, not such a bad result now, is it?" Yes, it was a shit result against Palace for us. I'm sorry, United are crap. Okay, so you know that's the way I look at it. Okay, it's one of those where we all have different perspectives, and I respect the guy's opinion. I really do, okay? Because, you know, you should see our WhatsApp group. Everybody's got different opinions. We all like winding each other up, you know. I mean, after the second assist from Ramsey, I just fancy putting the group, no Rambo, no party. Do you know what I mean? Just to wind the boys up, you know, big game player, that sort of thing. But ultimately, I still think Ramsey's going to go back to the bench, because I think Unai's got his way of playing. After what happened at PSG, he's got to be true to that, and good for him, you know. And unfortunately, I think Ramsey's going to leave, and I'm going to be gutted when he leaves. I really am. But it's about the Arsenal, and that's what Unai's got to concentrate on. But you know, it's just so much fun at the moment. Right, let's go to some questions. Is it? Okay, there's 390 of you watching, right? 170 likes. Well done. You bypassed the 160 mark. That's a great credit to you. But we're only halfway through here, aren't we? So, 200 likes, please. Now, stop messing about, okay? Be like Aubameyang. Tappy. Let's get going. Let's go for a brace each. Come on, let's go. I'm just, you know, give me my likes. I'm so enjoying today. It's unbelievable. Oh, I tell you what, okay, fuck Tottenham Hotspur. Fuck them. Right, the first comment in our chat box here was, "Jace, put your cam down. It's cutting off your head off." That's from John. Thank you, John. Right, Karl, first question to you. Hassan Ramzan says, "Jason, John, Karl, please call out the Joker Sherwood for his Arsenal Spurs 11.
I don't want to give him any credit, to be honest. I don't really want to talk about him on this. It's all bait. It's all clickbait. There's a reason why he does it, because he knows he gets clicks and hits for whatever website or whatever media outlet that he does it on. And he knows that it's just a way of keeping his name in the flipping spotlight. So fuck him. I'm not even bothered with that. Let's move on.
Couldn't agree more. I did feel a bit like putting that tweet out earlier on with the Mesut Ozil drinking a cup of tea, but then I forgot Mesut Ozil's not playing. Sorry, I'm being horrible. John, Pete Coulson asks, in January, you can either choose we sell Rambo for 30 million or Ozil.
If selling Ozil means we get to keep Ramsey, then sell Ozil.
Okay. Pete Coulson says, question for Jason. This is from Official Socks Pats Fan Club. Who'd you like me now? Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. It was fantastic. Karl, I got a bit of background sound from me, fella. Cheers, bro. Yeah, I tell you what, boys, that's all I know is I'm just so chuffed today. You know what? This game means so much. And to have bragging rights over those scumbags is brilliant. I go into work tomorrow. There's a guy called Colin Khan in my office. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to goad him. I'm going to belittle him. I'm going to humiliate him. I'm going to act like a total dick and be that guy. And I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. Screw them. That's all I got to say in it. Screw them. You know? Right. Okay. Here we go. Next one for you, Karl. Can we end this shit that Dean has an agenda? I kind of agree with Marble Horse TV on this, Karl. I thought Dean did make mistakes in the game. I thought he should have sent off Eric Dyer. But I just think it's not an agenda against the Arsenal. I just think he's a very bad referee. What are your thoughts?
I have to agree. If you talk to Steve in our group, I think, and that says a lot. I think Jason and everyone knows that Steve definitely thinks that there's an agenda against Arsenal for Mike Dean. Me, I'm not so sure. I think you're right what you say. I think Dean's just a very bad referee. I genuinely do. I don't think he's as good as he thinks he is. And I don't think it's against Arsenal per se. I really don't. I just think that he is not as good as he thinks he is, and he makes mistakes all over the pitch. And do you know, it's only because we're analysing it because of Arsenal. If we was to watch, I don't know, Burnley versus Leicester, he'd probably make stupid mistakes in that game as well. And I just think that it's always meant to be about him. You know, he's got the game of the weekend. You know, Arsenal versus Tottenham, and he's, as usual, he wants to make everything about him. He's been like that for years. And why the FA or the PMGOL, I want to say PGMOL. Yeah, that's the one. Don't do nothing about it. But maybe because there's not enough good referees coming through. And why is that? Because there's not enough good training. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think it's an agenda against Arsenal.
There was on my feed. Beglin and Tyler came out with a stat. Okay, that in Premier League history. In the history of the Premier League, Mike Dean has awarded 6.5% of the penalties given. Okay. I think Liverpool have had the most penalties awarded to them of 100 and whatever. And then Mike Dean is second in that list. Do you know what I mean? He just loves giving a penalty away. So I don't know. He's a bit of a dick, isn't he? He's a bit of a dick. Somebody put in the group, he's a shit Jasper Carrot lookalike. And that kind of sums it all up. But Jasper Carrot's a funny guy. All right, I've got to find these bloody questions now. Here we go. Sorry. John, Juna73 asks, is Ozil going to be sold at the end of the season?
Maybe. There's a few clubs who are interested. One is Inter Milan. Whether they can offer a big enough wage packet for him, I'm not sure. Whether he'd leave, I don't know. There was an interesting exchange. If people haven't seen it, James Ollie on Twitter, the journalist, reporters asking Emery about Ozil. They said, could he have played? Emery answered, he has backache. When did he get that? Emery says, I don't know. Then they asked him, where was he today? And Emery said, I don't know. that doesn't sound like a player the manager particularly cares about to me. So if someone comes in, I think then maybe he will go. Just because I'm not sure he suits Emery, But I don't want to. Look, I love taking the piss out of Mesut Ozil. Everyone knows I do because I'm not his biggest fan. But I don't want to put a downer on today because it's all about the result and beating them. But yeah, you can read into those statements however you want.
Okay. Karl, right, guys, in the chat box, I'm sorry, these are the questions that have been asked, okay? They're not from us, they're from you. So I apologize, but this next one's an Ozil question again, okay? Karl, formerly Noza asks, does Ozil have a place in the starting 11 now?
Does he have a place in the starting 11? I don't think anyone should be guaranteed a place in the starting 11 just because we should always mix it up a bit. And every game is different. Game to game, everything's different. So just because you earn the most at the club and you earn over what you should do doesn't mean that you should be guaranteed a place in the starting 11. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect, yeah. John Bernstein asks, how important was the win with the kids in the midweek? It kept our momentum going and rested our big guns. Oh,
absolutely. That was huge. I think, no one particularly cared about that midweek game. I mean, I didn't see it until the next day because I couldn't watch live. But just in terms of, if you just keep winning games, it just keeps the atmosphere, whether you're in the squad or not. The senior players still would have been watching the game and looking out for the result and that kind of thing. So it's so nice that we've got kids that have the ability to go out and win the games. And Emery's played this brilliantly, the Europa League in particular. I think a few others kind of had a bit raised eyebrows at some of the team selections he had, especially at the start of the competition, because they were very, very strong teams and probably stronger than they needed to be to win the games. But he planned ahead. He knew when the games were coming. He knew when they were falling, when the big games were coming, in particular this period now when we had Spurs today and then we got Man United midweek, that it was going to be a tricky period. So if you can get to that point in the Europa League where you don't have to put the big boys out and you can rest it and you can put the kids out and they're relaxed and they can go into the game with no pressure and they can go and perform and you've got that trust in them to go and win you the game, that's a huge benefit for the whole squad. And it means you can rest players and rotate people and everything. And that's what he's done. And I think because he's got that experience in the Europa League, it has been absolutely huge and has really, really helped us. So yeah, I think that win was a lot more important. I just want to quickly say as well, big happy birthday to Steve, our very own Lord Hillwood, who has just popped up in the chat box. So chat box, give Lord Hillwood some love, and if you are listening later, go give him a tweet, people.
Okay, yeah. Happy birthday, Steve. I can officially announce that Steve is 34 today, and he's looking good for it.
Is that with tax?
And that, but never mind. Okay, don't worry. Let's big him up. Wish happy birthday to Steve, everyone. Come on, he keeps on turning up. He keeps on rocking up for you. He's a member of the original ABW gang, so wish him a happy birthday. He's a top man. Happy birthday, Stevie boy. Oh, here we go. Karl, West London Goon asks, what would the Ox have become under Emery? What could the Ox have become under Emery?
That's very hard to answer that question. He knows. That's like asking what would Theo Walcott become under Emery. I don't know. The player that we always wanted him to be, but what was that? What kind of player did we want him to be? Did we want him to be a centre mid? Did we want him to be a winger? What did we want from him? So I can't answer that question. I can only hope that he's left Arsenal now, and I wish him no ill feeling. He's at Liverpool now, and I hope he comes back from his injury. Doesn't do well against Arsenal, but any other team, good luck to him, and that's kind of it, really.
Yeah, I got to agree. I have mixed feelings about the Ox. I love the Ox. I loved his sort of attitude. He's a good kid, but he never produced enough to stay at the club, and that was the big problem. I don't think he's been spectacular at Liverpool either. There's been a couple of good games from him, yeah, but there's nothing to say, oh my God, what have we done? But good luck to him. The Ox is a good guy, and it's a shame it didn't work out at the Arsenal for him. I'm going to answer this next one, okay? Neil Vigela asks, what do you guys make of Ozil's situation? I don't want to harp on, but, we've just won North London derby, and it's been fantastic. I think for Mesut Ozil at the moment, it's down to him. He either wants to be part and a place in this team and, go on to become a club legend. But I keep on hearing people talk about him and how great he is and what have you. And you can see the quality of player that he can be. He can be magnificent on his day. But we're looking at a bit more of a functional team with Unai. He's not pampered anymore as he was with Arsene. And he needs to either man up and earn the right to be in the starting 11, or, that's an awful lot of money to be paying out every week not to be on the pitch. And when people say, oh, I don't care how much we pay players, you've got to care, because the makeup of our wage bill has a direct influence on who we can buy, on who we can bring into the squad, who needs to be sold, etc. If that money's not reaping rewards on the pitch, then maybe it's better off going elsewhere. And that would be a sad day, because, since that World Cup in South Africa, I've loved Mesut Ozil as a player. I really have. But I expect a bit more from him in an Arsenal shirt. I really do. And let's hope he delivers. Let's hope he comes back, wins his place, and delivers. John. Pete Coulson asks, ABW is the Top Gooner podcast. Legit, he says. Thank you very much. That's blowing sunshine up our arse. I really appreciate that. But, Pete's always there, and he's always a firm supporter, so thank you. So it follows that some Arsenal players may listen. Who would you like to listen in, and who would you cringe if they knew they listened into the podcast? So who would you want to listen, and who would you cringe? And we're all going to answer this.
Who would I like to listen?
I'd cringe at Ramsey. The stuff that we say, come on now, let's be honest. If Ramsey listened, he'd be like, what ego? Like, what are you guys on about? Like, come on now.
No, I don't think I'd cringe if any of them listened, to be honest. I think I'd like them all to listen. I don't think I'd cringe at all. I'd cringe if they listened when Chris was on, because some of the stuff he says is unbelievable. Actually, if we're on with Chris, then I'd cringe, just because we're so mean to him, and they'd be like, "Why are they bullying this guy who likes French players?" I don't get it. We've had loads of really good French players. I don't understand. What's this all about?
Look, the great Chris moment was, I love I love Santi and his quality on the ball. But Aaron Ramsey's got to stop doing those flicks and tricks. Do you know what I mean? But no, I got to be honest. What we do on there is honest. Whether you agree or disagree with us, that's fine. But we're always trying to be honest. And I some of the stuff I said about Socrates at the beginning of the season. Hey, I'm still not his biggest fan. I was not happy with that free kick earlier on. But to be fair, he's not been the disaster I thought he would be. He hasn't. When you look at Alex Iwobi, I love that guy's talent. But today, he needed to commit earlier. He needed to play with he's played this season with a lot of conviction. And I'm not sure if it's the occasion or whatever, but he didn't commit to players. And a lot of what he did today, it ended up being fruitless. And, this is just our honest opinion. And, we live and die in it. I'm pretty sure every single person in the podcast would say to the players to their face exactly what they say on here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure whether I'd say it to Kolasinac, because I don't know how angry he gets. Because he'd crush me with his little finger.
I'll hold your hand.
Okay. What, so we can run away together?
I can't run and he's gone, okay? But you just gotta say it, haven't you? Yeah. It's just about being honest about it. Karl, John Bernstein asks.
I think I put that in twice. That might be the one.
Yeah, it has. Sorry. Okay, Karl, Josh Kaklukas. Yeah, Kakluska, sorry. Josh Kakluska asks, and he hasn't been around for a while. Where have you been, Josh? haven't seen you for a while, pal. Where should we put the statue of Torreira?
Right in the middle of the North Bank. That's where we should put it.
Bit early doors, but if he carries on like this, he's going to be a hell of a signing, and he's been superb. John, Gunnar73 asks, what would you prefer in defence? Elephant-sized Mustafi or a Mustafi-sized elephant?
Oh, it's got to be... Oh, Jesus. It's got to be an elephant-sized Mustafi, isn't it? I mean, because if he falls over, which to be fair, he didn't do today. Well, he did, but he did it when the ball was out of play, so it was okay, and it was actually an injury. So I'm not going to have a go at him. But if he did fall over and he's elephant-sized, you might fall on Harry Kane or Dele Alli or someone and just crush him. So that'd be fine. Yeah, I'll take that all day.
I thought Mustafi was superb today.
Yeah, he was good today.
You know, Anime asks, how gutted are you that we're letting Ramsey go on a free, Karl?
Of course I am. I am, but there's nothing we can do about it now. You know, the club and also Ramsey have both said that he's going to leave. I'd love him to stay. I actually would, because today for me he changed the game. He's what he came on and he totally changed the whole game, and that's the kind of player that we need. And if we can get a player to replace him that can do exactly the same and if not better, I'll be ecstatic. I really would. But right now, with no incoming insight at present, yeah, I'm a bit pissed that he's leaving.
What about his ego leaving? Are you pissed about that?
Say it again.
Are you pissed that his ego's leaving as well?
Obviously, like his ego was he's got the top assist maker in the league so far. So, do you think we could let Ramsey go, but his ego stays? That would be good.
Oh, I think the ghost of Ramsey's ego. That's the next podcast name. Yeah, let's hope so. No, it's going to be galling. I'm going to be absolutely gutted when he goes, but there you go. That's just the way it rolls now. John, what team would you start on? Guna73 asks, sorry, what team would you start on Wednesday? The first half team or the team that started the second half?
Ooh, we're away, aren't we? I think I'd still go with the first half team because I don't think they did much wrong in the first half. There was like errors in the space of 3 minutes.
Remember, Xhaka's can't play.
Yeah, Xhaka can't play though, so I think I agree with you, Jace, that I assume Guendouzi would come in for him rather than Ramsey. And that would be my guess. But if he didn't want to change things up too much, then yeah, that's what I'd go with. Because I never thought I'd say this. I think Spurs are a better team than Man United, so we should be able to beat them. I know. No. I don't know what I'm more sick about.
I got sick in my mouth now.
You have seen Man United this season, haven't you?
Yeah, they're shite, but still, we don't.
I think I go with the first half team, but yeah, I'm guessing that Emery would bring in Guendouzi for Xhaka.
This is the thing. See, I'd start Rambo, I would, and I'd go for United from the off. Okay.
Oh, I mean, if it's me personally, I would. I just think what Emery would do.
They're the same, yeah. But you've got to look at what Emery's liked doing all season, and I just think he likes that ball player who likes the ball in front of him, whereas Ramsey likes to go forward. I always see Rambo as a box-to-box player. Always have done, always will do. But I don't think Emery wants it from that position at the moment. I don't know why, but he's got to be true to himself. And a question for all of us to end. Karl, we're going to start with you. Sila V asks, could we finish third?
I don't see any reason why not. Man City have gone clear. Man City know that they're going to win the league. And we get that. Do you know what? Let's face it. Liverpool will be second, I think. I know maybe they may drop off, but Liverpool, for me, are the second best team in the league at the moment. I know they're not doing too well at the moment. I see they're drawing still. But we can finish third. I think we can. Chelsea, they seem to be going through, well, they were going for a little wobbly patch. So, you know, it's all to play for. I think 1 and 2 have kind of wrapped themselves up. I really do. And I think it's all to play for the next place, to be honest.
Yeah. John?
I think we can get third. I'm not sure Chelsea will. I just think Chelsea are very consistent, but they might end up with too many draws, and that might be where we can jump ahead of them. The thing with this season, and it's kind of gone back to how the Premier League used to be, because a few years it wasn't really this case. The games that are really going to matter, obviously every game matters, but the games that are really going to matter are the ones against the teams around you. And for a few seasons, that didn't affect your position too much. But I just think we trying to nick points off, if we can get a point against Chelsea or a win, something like that, beating United, although where are they? 7th, 8th now? 7th in the league at the moment. They're obviously not as relevant anymore. United not relevant. That's going to come back to bite me, innit?
Yeah.
But twat, shouldn't have said that. But no, I think those are the games that are going to be much more important now. But I agree with Karl. I think City will win the league, and Liverpool probably are the second best team. But Scousers do like to fuck things up, so there's always a chance. But I think we can get third.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't. I think, you've seen with the Liverpool game and today the performances we can put in. I think, as long as we keep our momentum going, I think 3 points Wednesday night would be massive for us. Do you know what I mean? It would be absolutely massive for us, because all of a sudden that kind of monkey of not winning against the big teams, because we drew with Liverpool, which is at home. We lost against City at home, but we lost away against Chelsea.
We're playing Man United, not a big team.
Okay, but that would be massive. Right, Sai's just donated $1. Sai, you're a rock star. Thank you ever so much. That's really appreciated. Yeah, I just can't believe the list I'm going to read out later. The people who've donated today is bonkers. Thank you ever so much. But look, you're looking at that momentum. If you're another 3 points, then it's Huddersfield. You 9 points out of this little 3 games would be more than I thought we would get. I know on the radio show this week I said we'll win, but that was my heart, not my head. But go up there, beat United, lay the law down, set the agenda. Let's be ambitious in the way we go for this. And then we look at the Christmas period, which is going to be tough. So fingers crossed. I don't see any reason why we can't. I thought we could get top 4 beginning of the season. It doesn't change now, because our away form is earning us those points. Oh, Gabriel Gamail Kaufman, $1. Thank you very much. Oh, £1, sorry. That's magic of you. I tell you what, guys, you're superb. Thank you ever so much. But, if you look at last season's form as opposed to this season's form, those away wins, those away points, they could send us up in a third. So that's going to be massive for us. So that's it kind of for today's show. We're kind of done now. We've been going for, I think it's an hour and 20. Shout outs for everybody who's donated. You've been wonderful. To be fair, the chat box has been fantastic. Everybody's enjoying a North London derby win, and everybody's just been brilliant. Actually, Gabrielle says, here we go. First time watching, definitely not the last. Hey, welcome to the clan. Welcome to ABW. That's brilliant of you. And bring your friends as well. It's just, we so appreciate this chat box and everybody who listens on every other platform. We really do appreciate it. We're just a bunch of idiots who love talking about the Arsenal. And, all the names that keep on popping up, we talk to you on a regular basis. So it's like a friendship type thing where, it's just become magic for everyone. And we really do appreciate your support. So thank you very, very much. But the stars of the day are those who've donated. Mika for life. Ivona Kofa. Ariane Hadari. AFC 9, come on you Gunners. Michael Hahnemann. Kashif Ahmed. Oscar Arias. Petito 100. Arul Selvan. Jaya Balan. Sorry about butchering your name. Brendan Almeida. Fat Sam, enough is enough. Sam Ruth. Sai. Gabriel Kumail. Kaufman, you know, you're all rock stars. That money goes towards hosting fees, tech equipment for us, and allows us to keep on going. So thank you ever so much. Guys, last thing before we wrap it up. Thoughts on the game. Karl, you first.
Loved it. I think I'm going to say this once again. One of the best games I've seen this season. It really was end to end. You know, it was almost everything in it. Everything you could have had. It had controversy, it had penalties, it had great goals, it had good finishes, it had everything you needed in a game. I'm happy that we got the 3 points. You know, what more could you possibly ask for than getting 3 points against your greatest rivals? I absolutely love it, especially the way we did it. You know, we was winning, we was losing, then we came back. Absolutely brilliant, and more of the same. Not just against Tottenham, against every other team, but today, this win, absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. John?
Yeah, just sort of to echo what Karl said, really. Just much like you, Jace, nervous, bag of nerves and sort of nervous energy before the game and feel sick and everything else. And once it gets going, it's great. And even when we went 2-1 down, I was still confident. I just thought because of the way we performed in second halves all through the season and Emery willing to change things, and I saw straight away, bang, 2 substitutions, bang on half time. I'm switching things up, I'm changing formation. Just really happy, and just brilliant game. I've got goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah,
there's derby games that I always enjoy a derby, but there's ones that are a bit forgettable. This is not one of them. You know, this is definitely not one of them. So this is one that I will remember for a long time.
Yeah, passion, handbags, some great goals, some great technical play, the work rate of the team, you know, that never say die attitude from them, and just the, you know, just the commitment from the guys in the park. It said it all. Okay, it's fucking brilliant, and it's just so nice to beat the scum. That's all I gotta say. C'est la vie. It's my pleasure. We'll work at a charity in the end if you do ever sell any tappy t-shirts. But look, guys, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here today. There's still 252 people watching now. I can't believe it. This week we've got United. I think it's myself. I think it's John. I think it's Ellis on. Is it Ellis on midweek?
I'm just having a look now.
Cheers, pal. The podcast this week will be on Thursday, so they can cover the NLD and the United game. You're going to have Chris Carpenter on there. You're going to have Danny on there. I don't know who else is on there. I do apologise.
Steve and myself.
Steve and Karl. So that's a hell of a lineup as well. So, you know, hopefully we'll be celebrating 2 big wins on the bounce, okay? But as I always say, if you want to be part, if you listen on any other platform and you want to be part of the chat box, like the YouTube page, click on the bell icon, and you'll be notified whenever we go live. We go live a few minutes after every game, okay? And we're going to continue to do that till the end of the season. Every game, there will be a live show afterwards. So the chat box, thank you for your support. It's epic. It's absolutely superb. To you, Karl, thank you, mate. Good to have you back on.
Anytime, as long as my schedule can. And once again, I've got 2 things to say. And as always, hashtag fuck Ellis. Although, please, people, keep donating for Ellis's calls. Absolutely brilliant calls. I don't know if it's shut now, but if it's not, keep on donating towards him because it's absolutely brilliant what he's done.
Freddie Hussein's about to have a shout out now. And by the way, Karl, when you're in work tomorrow, please, over the tannoy, mind the gap. Mind the gap. Mind the gap. Okay? John, thank you so much, pal. Always good to have a podcast with you.
Oh, absolute pleasure, especially today. Thoroughly enjoyed that, mate.
I tell you, the only way this can be better is if we humiliate United midweek.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only way. As Karl's just mentioned, guys, Ellis Mel, a.k.a. Freddie Hussein, has been raising money for November. He's now shaved off the moustache, but he still looks like the bastard child of Freddie Mercury and Saddam Hussein. That's all I'm going to say in it. And just for that reason alone, if you want to go and donate, the link is on our feed on Twitter, okay? To be fair to Ellis, he keeps on doing it. He keeps on having a go, and he keeps on raising money for great charities. And as November is regarding men's health and, general awareness, so it's not just mental health, but remember, if you need somebody to talk to, your doctor, your friends, even us idiots here, a problem shared is a problem halved. Danny's just put the link in the chat box there, so have a look at it, okay? If you feel a lump anywhere, if you've got a cough that won't go away, go to the doctor. Get yourself checked out. These things don't go away on their own. You've got to be kind to yourself. So do that. And that's that. So just be good to yourselves, guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy an NLD win. We humped them today. We humiliated them. We absolutely bent them over a table and screwed them. John, switch it off, please.